My audience was obsessed with this movie, like would not stop talking about it.
That is so funny because I'm telling you, there was about to be a revolt among the like working class black audience that brought their little girl.
Oh yeah, the working class. Oh my God, it's so transparent. Yeah, that's right. Krystal went to the theater with a working class black audience with their children, and she, you know, as a real progressive populist, she saw with all her brothers and sisters, I think she could fairly say, with all her homies from the hood, as she would be allowed to say from them, her good friends, that they were all really mad, you know. So actually, when she regurgitates conservative arguments that SAAGAR and Jetty hilariously doesn't reflect himself, she can go, oh, right, well, all of my Ben Shapiro tier arguments were from the working class black families I saw Barbie with, you know. Yeah, she flew to the south side of Chicago to see Barbie. She was over there in East LA, you know, just having a grand old time.
All right, folks, let's talk Barbie. Now, the first thing you should know is I was really cheering for this movie, for real. I like the Barbie core aesthetic. It was fun to see this whole big cultural moment around it, which isn't really a thing.
Spoilers. Watch the damn movie.
It happens very often anymore. And just before I went in, I saw Ben Shapiro whining on Twitter about how his producers made him see it and it was so woke and terrible, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, I really wanted him to be.
I'm gonna add the spoilers text on the thing, okay? Here, look. Okay, right here. So when this thing is gone, there are no longer any spoilers happening, okay? That's your, so that when that disappears, we're good. Okay.
Completely wrong. But as it dragged on, an interminable 2 hours of dated, predictable contrivances, the verdict became undeniable.
Wait, hold on. What contrivances? The plot didn't really have any coincidences. What do you mean contrivance? What do you mean dated? What?
Barbie movie is atrocious. Look, I am all for creative content with a good political message. White Lotus, loved it. Squid Game, loved it. I'm all for a kids-oriented movie that has jokes that go over the kids' heads. Legos movies, for example, genuinely funny, some real political undertones. Or The Lorax, which is more overtly political but still succeeds as a great kids movie.
Wait. The Lorax is shit. What do you mean? Wait. Hold on. Losing some credibility for our movie critiques here.
Kids can sing every line from Let It Grow, and therefore, for better or worse, so can I. This movie was not funny or entertaining or family friendly. I breathed.
Dude, oh my God. Is she gonna do the PG-13 thing like Ben Shapiro did as well? Is she like, it's the PG-13, but okay, we can't keep doing this, guys. I don't know how many times we're gonna have the movie say PG-13. They say the word vagina in it. Like, it's not a kid's movie. Like, it can't be compared to the Lorax. They wouldn't have said vagina in the Lego movie.
A sigh of relief that I was out of town, so I did not make the mistake of bringing my 6-year-old and having to explain jokes about penises. And
oh my God. It has the same rating as Avengers Endgame. And in Avengers Endgame, they still don't say penis and vagina. Dude, what is with people? What is wrong with people? What is happening? They have a rating system. What?
Gynecological exams. It was mildly horrifying to sit alongside little girls in their Barbie merch as they suffered through vulgar humor and a plot that was completely impenetrable for the kids, while
how is the plot impenetrable for the kid? What? It's PG-13. What do you want? I don't understand. You can bring kids to a PG-13 movie, but that doesn't mean that it's for them in terms of specific age targeting. The Lorax is rated G. The Lego movie, if I remember correctly, was rated PG. This is PG-13. If people want to bring their kids to that, that's fine. They're allowed to. It's America. That doesn't mean that... I am, like, genuinely concerned by the degree of, like, moral puritanism that is infesting every level of this country. The idea of people going to a PG-13 movie and bulking because there's a joke about a gynecologist. Like, this is inappropriate. You. Then die. I don't care. Go at home, never leave, and die. Don't go for groceries. What the f*** do you mean? Stop ruining everything. tearing apart everything. For like, just don't see it then.
Still managing to be thoroughly predictable for all of the grown-ups. No star actor or immaculate set design was going to rescue this mess. All right.
Can we get like any specific example or?
So here's the basic plot, and it is basic as hell. It's roughly as follows. Barbie lives in a girl power utopia of Barbie land with all the various iterations of Barbie and alongside her erstwhile superfluous male Ken. Then she starts to lose her Barbiness, suffering thoughts of death, losing her trademark high heel ready arch feet, developing a patch of cellulite on one thigh. So she is told she must travel to the real world in order to fix this, where she is shocked by the patriarchy, but Ken, he is enamored with it. He makes Barbie land a patriarchy where dudes do the most stereotypical activities imaginable and women run around in Playboy bunny outfits. Barbie then returns alongside her new sassy human companions, a put-upon mom and an angsty tween. The three of them overthrow Ken and resubjugate him, but Barbie decides all of this Barbiedom perfection is no longer for her. She's going to become a real girl, embrace the complicated reality of the real world, and presumably climb the corporate ladder. Late-stage girl boss stuff. Sheryl Sandberg would be so proud.
She never said she was going to climb the corporate ladder, and it wasn't girl boss stuff at the end. The bit at the end was about her becoming a human, not her becoming a real woman. They never used the term real woman. It was her becoming a human being. It was about the distinction between being an idea and a person. It had nothing to do with her climbing the corporate ladder as a girl boss. She left the girl boss zone, which was Barbie Land. That was the point. Also, does anyone else feel like the plot as she described was not like the plot you would expect from a Barbie movie? Like, she was about how the plot was like boring and predictable and stereotypical. I thought a plot about a Barbie movie would be like one of the existing Barbie movies, which would be like Sparkle Fairy Princess Land needs saving because of blah blah, like that crap, you know? Not they live in an alternate bubble dimension where they're a concept, then they go to the real world and then bring ideas from the real world. But that's a little bit like high concept for what I'd consider a Barbie movie to be. But I mean, I liked it. I don't know.
Now, the whole thing is way too preachy to be enjoyable or even...
Oh, dude, she's actually... the shift is complete. We've now reached the... I don't know why this feminist movie with a feminist director about feminism was preaching about feminism. You liked Parasite? Yeah. Dude, she was like, yeah, I liked Squid Game, which was extremely subtle with its anti-rich, anti-capitalist message. But this movie, with its feminist stuff,
Even to really be very effective as propaganda, it's sort of like AI wrote a screenplay based on 2010's white feminism, not to mention the radicalism level.
The feminism in the film wasn't white feminism? White feminism is a derogatory term for uplifting girl boss feminist empowerment that only really benefits white women and ignores the experiences of non-white women. The feminist messaging in the film didn't really have any racial coding to it. It was just pretty broad stuff about the hypocrisies of the patriarchy and the expectations women experience. There wasn't anything white feminism about it. And also, it wasn't 2010s feminism either. The messaging was straight out of basic critical theory feminism. It was right out of like very basic second wave stuff. It wasn't like, yeah, I don't know what the only mention of race really, apart from the smallpox and natives comparison, was when the dad, who you only see twice in the whole movie, the dad of the the real humans that Barbie interacts with, is a white guy trying to learn Spanish, which was just like cute and funny. Like he was on the couch playing with Duolingo. That was just cute. I mean, I don't think that was like, I don't think that was racialized. And when the girl called her white savior Barbie, yeah. The funny thing is, the one time there was a point where a white woman did a feminism at a non-white woman, she immediately gets called white savior Barbie in a self-aware bit there. Like the movie's like aware of the tropes that it's deliberately or not deliberately playing off of. Krystal is completely off here. This is just so to be clear, Krystal lies nonstop to appease a conservative audience on Breaking Point's. Breaking Point's audience is exclusively populist conservative. There is not like some secret hidden contingent of leftist feminists who watch it. So, you know, she's just like grifting towards them.
Is firmly set on safe for the army of brands that are raking in money off of this crap. It's a dumb person's idea of a smart move.
Army of brands, it's Mattel. Yes, the movie of a Mattel product that features Mattel in it is profitable for Mattel. Okay.
Movie, a liberal's idea of a revolutionary message. One might ask why Mattel would choose to associate with the movie that was basically made by someone who clearly hates their product.
Oh, dude, she's actually doing the Ben Shapiro thing. This is just conservative grifting. This bitch. Nothing about the movie indicates that it hates the This is, dude, she's like Frankensteining a conservative argument together where like there is no reason anybody would come away from this movie with the conclusion that it hates Barbie unless they're reading it from a brain-dead conservative perspective. But she's also trying to say that feminism was basic and wasn't revolutionary enough. She's cobbling together arguments that are inconsistent with each other. Anybody who recognizes that the feminism in the movie is relatively safe would not accuse it of hating Barbie because they realized the feminist message in the movie was in line with the target messaging for Barbie. And anyone who argues the other way around, that it was super radical feminism, would then go on to argue that it hates its own product. She's trying to like cut and paste all of the different arguments she could use against it, regardless of their consistency.
The answer is obvious in the film because it never strays beyond the surface-level, consumer-friendly critique. Basically, yes, we realize Barbie's...
So it's consumer-friendly, but it also hates the product? Like, think about what she's saying for a second. These arguments don't make sense with each other. It was a basic, predictable movie. It was safe. It was white girl 2010's feminism, but also it hates Barbie. So why would Mattel associate with it, even though it was made to benefit the brand? It like that, no consistency, just spewing out whatever the she has on her mind.
His body and ethos was unobtainable, but we fixed it now. So you can go out, buy our products for your little girls, and it's basically like you're fighting the patriarchy.
See, again, why would she just say that while arguing that Mattel shouldn't have associated with the movie because the movie clearly hates their products? The reason I'm pausing here specifically is because I want to make it clear this is how I identify a grifter. It's not when a person is wrong. Everyone is wrong except for me. A person is a grifter, or at least identifiable as one, when their arguments don't make sense or adhere to any consistent internal logic, because they're not deriving these positions from internal logic. They're deriving it from other things, like, say, economic considerations or popularity. These are no single human of their own mental faculties could arrive at these arguments in tandem and believe all of them at once. I feel like that applies to most people. It's true that everyone has a degree of inconsistency, but when you're excessively inconsistent in a manner which is so flagrant and blatant and obvious, and it all just happens to line up with what conservatives in your audience would want to hear, yeah, grifting. Can you guys stop talking about Kyle? I would love to talk about Kyle without seeing chat talk about Krystal, and Krystal without Kyle. I like, can you guys stop? Okay? My unironic answer for this is that love does crazy things, and I have no interest in evaluating the perceived like any dynamic here. Okay, Kyle and Krystal are separate people.
There is one throwaway line from the angsty tween about Barbie promoting consumerism, but you can't really take it seriously given the context that the whole movie rollout is a hyper-capitalist wet dream.
No, you can't take it seriously because it was framed in movie as an angsty tween statement, like you just said. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously because it was said by an angry middle schooler who was clearly and textually trying to hurt Barbie's feelings. It was not meant as a serious critique of Barbie. It was meant as a caricature of, like, leftist critiques of Barbie.
According to Hollywood Reporter, Barbie's attracted more than 100 promotional partners worth tens of millions of dollars to Mattel, from custom pink Crocs to a Prada clothing line to hair dryers and everything in between. Merchants and brands rushed to cash in on Barbie mania.
Remember, she asked why Mattel would want to associate themselves with this movie.
While companies including Progressive Insurance and General Motors used Barbie in custom TV and digital advertisements, per Hollywood Reporter. Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav promoted Barbie across his various properties, including an HGTV Barbie design competition, low-key sounds more interesting to me than the movie, a Food Network Barbie bake-off, and Barbie promotion graphics generously sprinkled across 15 different networks. Turns out the patriarchy Barbie insists she's subverting is getting wildly rich off.
The movie textually acknowledges that Barbie does not subvert the patriarchy. the opening lesson that Barbie learns when going to the real world is that in spite of the existence of Barbie, which she believed had empowered and uplifted all women, the real world is still deeply patriarchal. The movie literally acknowledge in the movie the company Mattel is greedy and insincere with their concern for feminism. The movie talks about this. And notice how she just did the actual conservative talking point, which is, wow, so your movie claims to be progressive, but corporations made money off of it. Thank you for your high IQ perspective on this issue, Krystal Ball. I don't know why she opened this by saying she saw Ben Shapiro getting mad over it, because this isn't any smarter than the Ben Shapiro review. It's just as stupid.
Her dated girl power platitudes and merchandise. The real moral of
the final moral was not a dated girl power platitude. It was about the difference between being a person and an idea. The final theme, or I guess the final scene of Barbie is the idea that, you know, Barbies are an idea and that there is something distinct between what they represent and actual personhood. And real personhood involves, you know, inconvenient stuff like aging, dying, and gynecologist visits. It's an indication that while Barbie as an idea might bring joy to some people, we have to acknowledge that these aren't standards that humans are meant to live by because they're literally not human. It was in the movie. It was in the movie, dude.
Barbie movie for me is that you can make a dog shit movie and still make a fortune with the right marketing strategy. Quite the opposite of go woke and go broke, I suppose. In the resolution to the film, Barbie rejects her iconic ultra femme look for a sensible blazer and pale pink Birkenstocks, signaling to all the young girls and women out there that to be an evolved, complex woman, you should take off some of the sparkle.
She doesn't even remotely say that. It's because she shifted from being a Barbie in Barbie Land, where everything is cartoonishly pink, to the real world, where people don't dress like that. Barbie wanted to live as a human, not as a human wearing Barbie clothes every day. The distinction between Barbie as an idea and humans as people is made clear consistently throughout the film. That's why she shifted. In real life, women who wear glitzy pink clothing don't usually walk around looking like Barbie. Because Barbie is a toy. That's the point. She shifted into a human approximation of her pre-existing personality traits. She didn't have to give up being a glam fashion model or super feminine or whatever. She still is at the end. She's just doing it in ways that align with human culture.
Hide your curves. Limit the glam.
Hide your curves? Just completely, just moon out there. I didn't think I'd be doing this 2 streams in a row. Completely made up. Why are conservatives literally so rushed to fight against this movie? Because it's a feminist movie. And she's anti-feminist.
Modest is hottest, ladies. And
she's not even remotely modest as a human. I don't know, Barbie at end of movie. Is there like a picture I could find of what she looks like? I don't think the movie only came out a little bit ago. I don't think I'm gonna find a screenshot or like a, you know, or anything that shows what she looks like. She doesn't look modest. She looks like a fashion model at the end because she looks like one. That's okay.
An odd fit for a moment when young girls are joyfully embracing and reclaiming the Barbie aesthetic, not out of repression, but actually out of power. As my 15-year-old informed me, Y2K bimbo is in. And why shouldn't it be? In the year of our Lord 2023, we got deeper issues than whether or not Barbie's tits are out, okay? And
what argument is she making? Is she suggesting that the movie is arguing against what? Have you seen what Barbie dresses? What she dresses like? In the opening scene that was shown in this video, she's on a beach and she's wearing a low-cut beach vest thing, and she from this perspective, it's like she's just wearing panties. The movie doesn't promote modesty at all. I don't know. She looks like a Texas stripper here. And it's great. Yeah, okay. She's just making shit up. There's nothing in this movie argues that you have to not be glam.
more fundamental issues than the diversity ratios on corporate boards, while they are systematically busting unions, screwing workers, and buying off politicians. And speaking of that,
here's where we do the fake populism thing, where we pretend that this isn't just a conservative screed by randomly talking about union busting in a review of the Barbie movie, two concepts which are disconnected. But she has to remind people she's not a conservative because Breaking Points tries to pull people from the center to the right by pretending to not just be conservative.
a far more profound and revolutionary message is being sent to studios like Warner Brothers by the actors and writers who are out on strike right now, demanding a small sliver of the vast wealth created by their work. So here's my advice for what it's worth. If you really want to mess with the patriarchy, take your Barbie ticket money and popcorn cash and send it to a strike fund instead.
Okay. What if people want to see a popular good movie, but also want to support the strike? What if they want to do both of those things? Could they see the movie and then send additional money over?
SAAGAR, there was no part of this.
It's
By
funny.
the end, I just wanted it to be over.
I'm realizing I really think that this is also a difference in audience because
Could be.
I was telling you, I watched it with a bunch of very raucous, drunk gays here in Washington.
There we go. Oh, you know Sagar's in the closet. He's way too well dressed. Always with the haircut, always with the beard trim. You know it.
DC, and they were loving the movie. They were
feeling the Kenergy.
They were feeling the Kenergy. A lot of the women who were in the audience are exactly the type who love like Lehman. So I was just like, hey, it's almost you get caught up in the crowd.
Hyper.
You're like, yeah, everyone's loving the jokes. Like they love the core message of it. So
I can't believe the first conservative I'm hearing acknowledge the fact that the movie is mostly being seen by adults is Sagar and Jetty. Jesus Christ. Seriously, the theater that I went to had a couple of girls, but it was filled with adults. And the movie felt fine to watch as an adult. Like, I didn't feel like I was watching a kid's movie with jokes thrown in for adults. I felt like I was watching a movie that was just fine. I didn't feel patronized to.
I guess I just didn't look even at it as political. I was like, yeah, generic center-left movie is going to be generic center-left. I enjoyed a lot of the Ken humor. I thought it was funny. Like, the
Oh my
patriarchy,
fucking God.
like,
Dude.
I don't want to issue too many spoilers.
It's like the wraparound, man. Holy shit. Crystal's desperately, pathetically trying to appeal to the conservatives in their audience, and Sagar doesn't care enough to. So Krystal just lies about the movie for 10 minutes, and or 5 minutes, whatever. And then Sagar's like, I watched it. I thought it was pretty good. Watched it with some of the queers. Had a great time. It was pretty funny. Haha. Love that Kenergy. And Krystal is like quietly seething because she's like, well, did I have to go that hard? Did I have to lie that much?
So if you haven't seen it, I recommend you.
I mean, I already did the whole plot in my thing.
Fair
so
enough.
Spoiled already.
But just like some of the jokes, like the Ken dance off, or what else am I thinking of? Like the Mount Rushmore filled with horses. There were like intermittent laughs and all those things. I thought it was light, and I didn't find that it was plotting. I didn't think it. Well, maybe because I saw Oppenheimer that morning, so anything.
That could be.
Maybe
That's fair.
short. So I don't know. I saw it and I was like, huh, that was humorous. I wasn't like, I love this movie. It's the greatest movie I've ever seen. I was like, it was kind of fun. But I'm telling you, my audience was obsessed with this movie. Like, would not stop
That is
talking
so
about
funny
it.
because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there was
Yeah.
about to be a revolt among the working
so
class
funny.
black audience that brought their little girl.
Oh, yeah. The working class. Oh, my fuck God. It's so transparent. Yeah. That's right. Krystal went to the theater with a working class black audience with their children, and she, as a real progressive populist, she saw with all her brothers and sisters, I think she could fairly say, with all her homies from the hood, as she would be allowed to say from them, her good friends, that they were all really mad, So actually, when she regurgitates conservative arguments that Sagar and Jetty hilariously doesn't reflect himself, she can go, oh, right, well, all of my Ben Shapiro tier arguments were from the working class black families I saw Barbie with, Yeah, she flew to the south side of Chicago to see Barbie. She was over there in East LA, just having a grand old time. She didn't make the classic mistake. She didn't bring any beans, so she couldn't drop them when a black teenager says she's eating beans, Is Krystal a grifter, or is she just dumb? She's a grifter. I don't think she's dumb.
Girls there.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, there were tiny kids. There were, little girls of all ages.
I could 100% see that.
And I'm also a mom, so I would have, I think, because I wouldn't have paid close attention. It's PG-13 is the rating. I wouldn't have paid close attention. I would have been like, it's probably fine, and I'd.
Oh my God. Dude, how can you... The whole point of the rating board is to give you can what how is this the movie's fault? This is the attitude that like drag queens shouldn't be allowed to perform in adult only bars extrapolated to movies, where it's not enough to keep like kids safe, quote unquote, massive finger quotes there, but we need to like destroy all elements of social sexuality that are considered deviant, because there might hypothetically be a child that was deliberately brought there by an adult. If you Google Barbie rating, what's it? It's the MSRB, right? That's the name for the movie, Review Board. PG-13 for sexual suggestions and some language. So if ever you're confused in the future, you can look that up. You could also look at one of the 50 million like Christian parent websites where they're like, what in this movie will make you go to hell? Parents Guide, is Barbie movie appropriate for kids under 13? As always, you know your kids best. This is a fun movie with so many incredible meta moments in it. I think most kids 10 and up could safely watch based on the content alone. The kicker will be themes and mature discussions. Some kids won't be ready for those kinds of discussions under the age of 13. If you have concerns, please pre-screen this one. I can't wait to go back and see Barbie in the theaters again, so you probably won't mind going twice. This statement was made by the most normie soccer mom in existence. The human being who wrote this out does not know what politics is. They don't know what the word means, okay? They have no idea. And somehow they have still arrived at a less like default hardline social conservative position than Krystal has here, where she's like, well, the fact that parents are legally allowed to bring their children, I think all parents who bring their children to this movie should be shot because they're groomers. Christ alive. Also, f*** off. Quit pretending like the kids you choose to bring to the movie will be hurt by the mention of the word vagina. Shut the f*** up. Literally, I'm putting my fucking foot down with this conservative horse shit, okay? The idea of like, oh man, well actually the only way to protect our children is that you can't even mention where babies come from until they're 18. You have to tell them the stork brought it. F*** off. Quit. You're insane. You're actually insane, okay? You're insane. It's not even a sexual term. It's a fucking term to refer to a thing that basically all humans have between penis and vagina. It's like, what is it? Like, what do you, what, like, do you have a kid and they're like 11 or something and they're like, oh, I've fucking tripped and fell and I hurt my, and you're like, you're dingling? And they're like, yeah, my dingling. And you're like, oh, like, what are you doing as a parent? F*** off. Give your children away to an orphanage. They'll treat them better.
Likes dolls, so I'll bring her, And thank God I didn't, because seriously, early on, there's this scene with the Kens where they're joking about beaching each other off. And I was so shocked by...
Oh my God, a thinly veiled sex joke in a PG-13 movie? That's fucking crazy, bro. I can't fucking believe that shit. Dude, these people couldn't watch SpongeBob. Legit, these people could not watch SpongeBob because every episode would have something that was meant for the adults and they would freak out. Like, this is a level of social conservatism that precludes you from participating in society. This isn't even about conservatism, dude. This is like puppet theaters in 1837 were more raunchy than this.
Having that in what is ostensibly like this kid's movie.
It's PG. It's not ostensibly. Nobody said that. Nobody said it's a kid's movie. The only people I've heard this from are conservatives who are feigning outrage at it. It's not a kid's movie. It's PG-13. Would you call every PG-13 movie a kid's movie? That's the rating. Would you call that a kid's movie? Why? If so, why? Is Avengers Endgame a kid's movie? People get decapitated in PG-13 movies. You know that, right? All of the Marvel movies are PG-13. Frequent references to sex, people getting decapitated, shot through the chest. And this is it? This is the line? Everything has to be R-rated. That's the problem with American media. We don't have strict enough ratings, okay? Never mind the fact that over in Iceland, okay, a facial gets fucking PG-7 rating or whatever. But over here, seeing one tit is an instant R rating, despite literally every kid having seen a tit at some point in their life. And then like, no, that's not enough. Now making jokes like two Ken saying, I'm gonna beat you off. This needs to have a fucking X rating, okay? When you go into the theater and you say, yeah, can I see the Barbie movie? You'd better be ready with your goddamn driver's license. You'd better be ready with your fucking passport, okay? This shit needs to be kept away from children.
With all these little girls sitting around me that I just refuse to believe that they actually intended that joke to be what I thought it was. And then there's all these jokes about like,
Excuse what?
in what is ostensibly like this kid's movie with all these little girls sitting around me that I just refuse to believe that they actually intended that joke to be what I thought it was.
Are you a fucking infant? Are you a fucking baby child? Are you retarded? Yeah, it was a masturbation joke. Is this a fucking joke? Yeah, sorry that your fucking dumb shit theater mates brought children to a PG-13 movie. You fucking moron. Did you bring your kid? That's your fault. What do you mean? Yeah, it's a jerk-off joke. What do you like? Literally, the bar like. Krystal LARPs is some kind of like progressive populist, and here she is, hands shaking, pearls clutched and quivering, because there was a thinly veiled masturbation joke in a PG-13 movie. The soccer mummification. All right, between this and Anna Kasparian, I'm saying it, okay? Mother-aged women shouldn't be allowed to be political commentators for populist causes. I'm sorry. Something happens in your brain. I don't know if it's having kids. I don't know if it's being birthing people. I don't know if it's suburbia. I don't know if it's driving. I don't know if it's the fact that you guys are the ones who wear pearls to clutch. Men don't tend to wear pearls. I don't know what it is. What's going on? I'm asking, what's going on? What is this shift from populism to like radical pearl clutch ghastly conservatism? What is happening? Nobody told me that Hooters wasn't a kids venue. My sister's like this. You are right. Yes, I stand by my position. We need to have politics only being done by men. Statistically speaking, the less conservative gender.
And then there's all these jokes about like genitals and gynecologist. I'm like, what? And it's not like any of the funny stuff would land with the kids. It wasn't really that funny for the grown-ups. And
incorrect. The end bit with the seeing the gynecologist was absolutely hilarious. That was a fantastic bit, both thematically and comedically, to end on. That's objective. That was very funny. Previous mention to genitalia was mostly just a setup for that part, to be honest.
And they're relentlessly beating you over the head with this like patriarchy discourse.
Literally just a conservative. Whoa, damn, a feminist movie talks about feminism, and when the conflict of the movie is patriarchy being brought to Barbie land, they keep bringing up this patriarchy discourse.
That, felt like Gamergate all over again or something.
Is Krystal implying that she agrees with the Gamergate people, and she's saying that it was like when all those feminists back in 2014 were nonstop talking about the patriarchy, and in her comparison, she's agreeing with Gamergate? Like, oh man, it was just like 2014 all over again. All these dumb bitches talk about patriarchy. We better fucking sexually harass them and dox them and threaten to kill them. That? Does she even know what the term means?
Thing like that was the level of messaging. It just.
I don't think she knows what it means.
I could totally see that. Yeah, especially for kids. I didn't consider that. That if there are a lot of kids going to this, yeah, I don't think I would.
Yeah, the lady next to me right after it was over, she turned to me and she was like, "That ain't no kids movie."
Yeah, I completely believe. Well, first of all, you're right. It's not. It's rated PG-13. What is so difficult about this? And for two, that didn't happen. It was a black working class mom too. You know, Krystal was sitting there in the seat. And then a mom turned next to her, and she was black, and she was a former Black Panther member, because she had like a badge on her chest, like from her time doing Black Panther shit, you know. And she was like, "Girl, who I consider a sister of mine, by the way, I got to tell you, that wasn't no kids movie, and also I think Ben Shapiro was right." And then Krystal was like, "Oh, okay, so you know." Oh, and she was Union too, exactly, yeah.
Yeah. And towards the end of the movie, I mean, people were talking. They were like. There was like a murmur of discontent for probably the last like 20 to 30 minutes.
It's like, this is the level of grift we're on right now, where we just have to make shit up like this. Like, she couldn't just come here and say, hey, the movie was really popular, but I have these problems. She has to pretend that, like, this family of this whole theater of former Black Panther Union members were all, like, we're all, like, outraged at the... Dude, come on. It's literally the everyone claps the bit. Yeah, it's, like, being done unironically. Vosh, I for one smashed my TV when SpongeBob said, "Patrick, your genius is showing," and Patrick proceeded to embarrassingly cover the area where his genitals would be. Had to erase my kids' memories, Men in Black style, for that one. Yeah, I feel like a good metric for whether or not you deserve to exist in society or deserve to be placed in the hole would be to be strapped to a chair and made to watch SpongeBob episodes, and if you ever pearl clutch, you just get launched into it by like a catapult that the couch is loaded into, you know? You can't function in society.
Of the movie.
Wow.
Did not land.
All right, well, there you go.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed seeing us react to each other's monologues, make sure you subscribe.
I didn't, thank you. All right. Spoilers are done. We're free. Man, that was just as bad as the Ben Shapiro bit. You gotta know how scared conservatives are of the Barbie movie for it doing so well. Like, for them to be acting like this, though I do think it's incredibly funny that SAAGAR didn't give a shit. So, like, Krystal Ball is doing, like, a contortionist bit, trying to link together every conservative critique she can think of. And SAAGAR's like, yeah, I saw it with the girls, had a great time, loved Ken, great abs, thought it was pretty funny, was pretty hammered. Yeah, would watch again. Yeah, I'd watch it again. It's... Oh, guys, just so you know, the Barbie movie has already made significantly more money than the Lego movie. Just so you understand, like, how well this movie is doing. They've already outpaced it quite a bit. The Lego movie, which, of course, has gone through, it went through an entire showing, you know? Made $468 million at the box office and was considered a big success. And the Barbie movie, which has only been out for a week, and therefore is nowhere near done making money, has made in excess of $500 million. I don't think we have an exact up-to-date amount. The last update that I see is from 516.9 million, but I don't think that counts the last day. I think that's a bit delayed. So it's already made more than the Lego movie. Anyway, my conclusion from all of this is go watch Barbie, you know? Unironically, I'm going to do the conservative bit. Wait, Vosh, 700 million 2 hours ago? No way. 700? That can't be real. There's no way. Holy shit. No, okay, it's projected to go by 700 million by Sunday. It might hit 1 billion, guys. It might hit 1 billion. God damn. I don't think anyone expected that. Maybe some people. Certainly not me. If it hits 1 billion, what would that make it in the rankings? If it just barely manages to hit 1 billion, that would make it the 53rd highest grossing movie of all time. And it just needs to make a few million more in order to make it past The Dark Knight and into the top 50. Anyway, I strongly suggest you guys watch the movie. I'm going to do the unironic conservative bit, and I'm going to say that this is the movie they don't want you to see. They are scared of you seeing it. It's not even super radical. It's just like they're terrified of it, okay? Clearly, they're terrified of it. I mean, they are. Look at the way they're acting. They desperately want their audience to not see the movie, which is why in their reviews of the movie, they're telling you how boring and uninteresting and blah, blah, blah it is. They're giving plot summaries and doing everything possible to dissuade people from watching the movie because it's a pretty great movie. And they just don't want people seeing it. Wait, Vosh, what about the strike? Aren't we supposed to not support cinema right now? I just realized. My understanding is that the SAG-AFTRA strikers are comfortable with you seeing movies that are already out. They just don't want you to strike break. Because if movies do really poorly, that has like effects in Hollywood that hurt the striking workers as well. The people who worked in those movies, you know, they don't want like the movies that exist to do poorly because they've already been worked on. They're not calling for boycotts.